It looks like everything's in place for the feast. But I still need to give a quick speech before the festivities begin.
Oh, how much energy will that take? Do you think you've got enough?
Don't worry, I've got plenty. Thanks to you two, I recovered more quickly than usual.
That's great! We'll be rooting for you.
Welcome, everyone! Today is the day that we celebrate our victory. Recently, our war with the Shogun's army came to an end, and we finally saw the abolition of the Vision Hunt Decree. None of us can know what the Inazuma of the future will look like. But tomorrow, I meet with the Tenryou Commission for Peace Talks. I give you my word that I will strive for peace for Watatsumi Island once and for all. Thank you all for your valiant efforts throughout. Truly, it is only through those efforts that we have been able to prevail in this trying war. This feast is held in honor of each and every one of you gathered here today. I hope all of you get to relax and enjoy our hard-won victory.
Hurrah!
Tonight seems to have gone off without a hitch. I'm so glad it's all going smoothly. People tend to be more open when they're in a good mood. Could I ask you to go around and see what information you can gather? I still have no further leads regarding the issue of potential collusion between the Tenryou Commission and the Fatui. And I'm concerned that something might happen at tomorrow's peace talks.
Okay, sure. We'll go ask around.
Watatsumi Island is finally at peace, and it's all thanks to Her Excellency, Sangonomiya. Recently, let me think. Well, the biggest thing for us is that we can finally get back out on the ocean to fish. During the hostilities, the open sea was full of warships. We just had to make do with what little fish and shrimp we could get our hands on closer to shore. When the catch wasn't good, we'd all go hungry. The poor kids were crying all day and night, but there was just nothing I could do. We'd go to bed ravenous and be tossing and turning all night long, trying to keep it together until the morning. At least things are finally improving now. I hear you're captain of Swordfish too, is that right? Well, thank you for your service. Here, have a fish. It's freshly caught, so it's a bit, fishy. But it's fine.
Oh, no. We couldn't possibly.
Come on, take it. Without you, we'd probably still be going to bed hungry tonight. Her Excellency always teaches us to repay kindness with gratitude.
Okay, well, thanks. Come on, let's go talk to some others.
Hey there! Care for some fruit and vegetables? Nature's remedy when you overdo the barbecue. Are you referring to the thing about the Tenryou Commission and the Fatui? I've heard rumors, but nothing too detailed. It's funny you should say that the soldiers seem excitable, though. I've had the same feeling. See that guy over there? He's been acting strange these days, always shouting and waving his spear around when he's got nothing to do. He scared the heck out of me a few times. It's a miracle the fighting has finally come to an end. Yeah, I really hope we don't go making any more trouble for ourselves. Sorry, I'm afraid I don't have much information. If you still have questions, you may as well go and talk to him.
Sounds promising. Let's go see what that guy's deal is. Ugh. This guy smells of booze.
Huh? Wait, don't tell me. Captain of Swordfish 2, right? You actually came back. I thought you'd abandoned the platoon and made a run for it.
Nuh-uh. We would never run from a fight.
Is that so? All anyone talks about these days is peace and stability. Do you remember what the most important thing is to the Resistance? You got that right. So I'm gonna put you to the test. Time to see if you truly are a bona fide Resistance warrior. I'll answer your questions, but only if you can beat me in a duel.
Ugh, this guy. Would it kill him to just have a normal conversation? What do you think? Are we gonna do this?
We'll see about that.
Lightning slash! Bellowing thunder!
You're a strong fighter. No wonder Her Excellency chose you. You really do have a warrior's will. Then maybe you can understand us. Captain, comrade, will you join us? We made it up. The story about the Tenryou Commission colluding with the Fatui, it didn't happen.
What? Poor Kokomi's been worried sick. You're telling us you made the whole thing up? What the heck were you thinking? This could send you right back into war with the Tenryou Commission.
Yes, that's exactly what we're hoping to achieve. Peace talks? Everyone's been drawn in by the idea. That's why the future of Watatsumi Island is at stake. What's to stop the Tenryou Commission from stabbing us in the back? And what's to stop the Raiden Shogun from issuing another Vision Hunt decree? We are the Resistance. Everything hinges on our warrior's will. We can't trust the Tenryou Commission or the Raiden Shogun, but we can put faith in ourselves. Surely you agree with that?
His point does kinda make sense, but something about it doesn't feel right to Paimon. Yeah, everything you said just now was pure speculation, wasn't it? Are you seriously willing to make up a wild rumor and ruin the peace everyone's worked so hard for, all because of some imaginary situation that may not even happen?
Don't take that tone with me, acting like you're above all of this. What would you understand? For the sake of victory, we embodied the warrior's will to the fullest. You understand? We were all in. Now they're suddenly trying to tell us that none of it matters anymore? You'd have me just put down my weapon and start living like an ordinary person, but how can I? How can I when every time I close my eyes, I see the faces of the friends we lost in battle? Every time I see them there in my mind's eye, it reminds me that I can never forgive the Tenryou Commission and never forgive the Vision Hunt decree. I guess you're not one of us. Well, whatever. Go ahead and tell Sango Nomiya if you want, but you're too late to stop us now.
Too late? What do you mean? Darn. Doesn't seem like he's gonna answer that one. What are we gonna do? This is really serious. We need to give Kokomi the full story right away. a few things. The whole thing about the Tenryo Commission colluding with the Fatui is baloney! They made it all up! They wanted the peace talks to break down so that they could carry on fighting the war. And they said it's too late to try and stop them, no matter what we do.
I see. I'm fine. Don't worry. This is my fault. If only I'd perceived what they were feeling earlier, it never would have come to this. I think I understand what Kozin means when he says it's too late. The talks don't begin until tomorrow, but both sides have already sent their guards to the location. They are responsible for making sure the area is safe and secure. I highly suspect that one of Kozin's pro-war co-conspirators will have infiltrated the guards with an intent to reignite hostilities tomorrow during the negotiations.
Well, that's no good. Do you want us to head over there now and switch out the guards?
That won't work. Firstly, the act of bringing a new team of guards to a neutral negotiation site will put both sides on high alert. It would almost certainly push the pro-war faction into taking action. They would attack the Tenryo Commission's guards, and we'd be in danger of war breaking out once again. Not to mention that we have no idea how many of Watatsumi Island's soldiers are involved in this plot. If we change the guard in haste, we face the issue of not knowing who to trust.
Sounds like a really tricky situation. So is there really nothing we can do about it?
Don't let it worry you. What's done is done. Now it falls to me to devise a counter-plan. These soldiers crossed the line, but the blame is not theirs alone. Whatever happens, I will find a way to ensure they do not come to harm. Let's meet here again tomorrow. Well, the peace talks are upon us. How do you feel? Prepared? Here, take this. These are some directives I wrote last night. These negotiations are complex, to be sure, but I thought about it carefully and realized there are no more than 187 possible outcomes. I took the liberty of writing them all down. This way, you will be able to adapt with speed, no matter how the events play out.
Whoa, this is huge! Let's see. Fierce dispute, violent escalation, armed revolt, coordinated attack, seize hostages. Wow, there are so many! But you've thought of a solution to each one! Paimon suddenly feels a lot less nervous.
Glad to hear it. These peace talks are quite exceptional. It is a major step forward both for Watatsumi Island and the Shogunate. But any amount of dissatisfaction within our ranks weakens our negotiating position. We will have to work all the harder if we want these talks to be a success. As the Divine Priestess of Watatsumi Island, this responsibility is, of course, mine to shoulder. But would you be willing to lend me a hand? Excellent. Okay, time to head off. been a while, Kujo-Sara. I believe the last time we met was on the battlefield.
Yes, where you dealt my forces quite the devastating blow. But before we go any further, what are you doing here?
That's right. She's here to bear witness to the proceedings. She experienced the war between us firsthand and has made an enormous contribution towards securing the peace we have today. I couldn't think of a more suitable candidate.
Seems reasonable. Then let's get straight into it. The first item is the Maritime Administration issue. During wartime, we restricted fishing rights for Watatsumi vessels in Narukami waters. We intend to remove these restrictions, but going forward, any of your vessels that fish in our waters will have to pay taxes in accordance with Narukami legislation in order to bring their catch back to Watatsumi.
That's fine, but if they're paying taxes, they should also be entitled to protection from the Tenryou Commission while in your waters. Any losses they sustain due to issues of public security will need to be compensated by the Tenryou Commission.
Accepted. Let's add that to the peace treaty. I can assure you that your vessels will be quite safe in our hands.
Negotiations seem to be going pretty smoothly.
The next item has to do with the movement of people and military authority. In the past, our people have been subjected to lengthy interrogations on arrival in Watatsumi, and the same has been true for your people on arrival to Narukami. Economic cooperation between our islands has suffered greatly as a consequence. Few merchants are now willing to engage in inter-island commerce. Since the war is now over, I propose that we have the Yashiro Commission appoint a business council to oversee trade between our two islands.
The problem there is that trade is a reciprocal affair. We'll need to involve merchants from both sides in this process if it is to succeed. We cannot give the Yashiro Commission full authority.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Watatsumi Island facing severe shortages of many essential goods at the moment? Having the Yashiro Commission organize everything centrally would work in your favor.
True, we're experiencing some shortages, but we will recover in due course. Between the diverse range of goods we can produce ourselves and our strong trade links with other areas, we are capable of sourcing everything we need. Not to mention that your proposal would require separate talks with the Kamisato clan. If they've yet to sanction it, I believe you are going beyond the remit of the Tenryou Commission's authority.
Let's leave that aside for now, then. On to the military question. Watatsumi Island's forces will need to come back under the jurisdiction of the Tenryou Commission.
That just isn't feasible. Not in the short term, at least.
With all due respect, feasibility doesn't come into it. The Tenryou Commission alone has ultimate responsibility for Inazuma's national security. We cannot allow Watatsumi Island to be the sole exception to this rule indefinitely.
You Kujo scum! Colluding with the Fatui isn't low enough for you already! You just want to take everything away from us! Comrades, never trust the Kujo! Let's get them!
Protect Madame Kujo!
Number 16. No, wait. 67? Or is it 73? Which one is it? Kokomi, which scenario number is this in the directives?
The last one, but hold off for the moment. Stand down, Tadakatsu. The situation has changed. Please stand by for further orders. Rest assured, I am fully aware of your concerns, but I will deal with the situation from here. Madam Kujo, this is rather serious. I believe you owe Watatsumi Island an explanation.
Excuse me for a moment. Nobody makes another move until I have finished investigating. You two, Here, now! Speak! Collusion with the Fatui? Is this true?
I wouldn't exactly call it collusion as such.
We were approached by a few Fatui. They mentioned a potential cooperation to keep the war against Watatsumi Island going. At the time, I felt like we could give it a try. After all, there'd be nothing to lose.
But we were extremely careful. We didn't agree to anything. We just said they could maybe start by heading to Watatsumi Island and stirring things up a little. Then we'd see how it went. With respect, ma'am, there was no collusion. It was just a one-off conversation. How anyone from Watatsumi Island even found out about it, I have no idea.
That's enough. When we return, there will be consequences. Might I remind you that this is the Fatui? Have you completely forgotten what they did to us? You should be having no interaction with them whatsoever, let alone entertaining offers of cooperation. So, what did they want out of it?
The Fatui's main forces have already left Inazuma. The few who approached us seemed like they wanted to settle a score for their boss.
Oh, her subordinates. So they're out for revenge. They want to keep Inazuma in a state of turmoil. One day, I will hunt them down. Every last one. We bear responsibility for this issue. My sincere apologies. I have my own negligence to blame for this state of affairs. Please, grant us another chance to continue the peace talks.
But of course, Madame Kujo. I have every confidence in your ability to resolve this situation. For the time being, however, there is evidently some discord within the Tenryou Commission's ranks. I would therefore not feel comfortable releasing Watatsumi Island's forces into your command at this time.
It seems that I must acquiesce. I will lay this issue aside for now, but we shall revisit it as soon as the Tenryou Commission has resolved our internal issues. As for the trade issues we raised, I will discuss options with the Yashiro Commission and make sure both sides have ample participation in the final arrangement.
Seems like Kujo-sara's on the defensive now. These negotiations should be smooth sailing from here on out.
I never knew the Grand Strategist of Watatsumi Island was a skilled negotiator, as well as a formidable commander. I hope that when we meet again, we can continue these sit-down discussions. Settling our differences on the battlefield is rather taxing. I think we can leave things there for today. Once I get back, I will conduct a thorough investigation into the Tenryou Commission's internal issues.
I should inform you that we took out a Fatui camp recently. I suspect that before long, they will attempt to re-establish contact with your people in the hope of procuring some assistance. I recommend you say and do nothing on the matter for the time being, lest you tip them off and they disappear. Wait for them to come to you. That way, you can capture them all in one fell swoop.
I will bear this in mind. Thank you. I shall take my leave now. Until we meet again.
Your Excellency,
Let's discuss it after we get back.
Your Excellency, you knew?
I have already been informed on the reasons for your actions. You believe the Tenryou Commission to be untrustworthy and sought to sabotage the peace talks and reignite the war. Fortunately, the end result exposed and thwarted a secret Tenryou Commission plot. Yet, this was purely incidental, and the end certainly did not justify your means.
But Your Excellency, so many comrades have sacrificed themselves in the line of duty. If we stop now, aren't all of our efforts going to waste? I want to keep fighting. I want ultimate victory, even if it means I have to pay the ultimate price.
I understand your sentiments, but you cannot simply impose your will and expect others to bear the consequences. During the war, there were highs and there were lows, and in the end, there was a glorious victory. For you, perhaps the experience was one of great excitement. But you saw nothing of the countless others who will remember the war quite differently. Most people suffered terribly through each day. Watatsumi Island's people yearn for peace because they have long since given all they had to the war effort. They are tired of treading water and don't need you dragging them back underneath once again.
But...
I understand, I do. And the fault is not yours alone. It was largely an oversight on my part. I taught you to nurture a warrior's will, but never how to let it go.
It's not your fault, Your Excellency. It was ours. Our selfishness. Either way, we are ready to accept sentencing under martial law.
Very well. Then I hereby declare... that as of today, I am founding a new secret corps of the army. This division will be responsible for keeping Watatsumi Island safe and secure, neutralizing any and all threats to the peace of our island. You and your comrades will all be welcome to join, but be warned, the training will be grueling. Perseverance and grit will be in high demand.
Your Excellency, what are you saying?
I have concluded from today's peace talks that the Kujo clan cannot achieve absolute peace and stability in the near future. Many seek peace, but there are still those who pursue war. It is right that Watatsumi Island moves towards peace, but we must still retain a defensive capacity. Those whose warrior's will is alive and well, I invite you to embark on the most challenging training regimen of your lives. I don't want to hear from any of you again until all of you can take on 2 shogunate samurai at a time.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
All right, dismissed. Go and report to General Goro. And remember, there can be no more insubordination. And if there is, there will be no more leniency from me, whatever reasons you may have.
Yes, ma'am. From now on, we will focus on our training. Thank you for this opportunity, Your Excellency. We'll report to General Goro right away.
I think that's finally everything in hand. I can feel my energy levels starting to drop. Meet you back at the hideout for some rest? Thank you for everything. With your help, peace has been restored on Watatsumi Island once more. Recovering. Slowly, but surely. I should be raring to go before too long. Today was a reminder that I don't cope well in situations with lots of people. I've improved, but I still get nervous when more than a handful of people are involved. I think I might get Goro to handle the negotiations next time. Do you think so? To be honest, I'm still a long way off what's expected of a divine priestess. In the past, I was concerned only with winning the war, restoring peace, and making sure everyone could live a happy life. But I realize now that wasn't going far enough. People have all kinds of aspirations, and just as many measures of happiness. I have a long way to go, but that's okay. If I can't make the journey in one giant leap, I'll just have to settle for taking it one small step at a time. In short, I've still got some maturing to do. Could you stay here on Watatsumi Island? To keep me company for a while longer?
There is no escape!